Greetings and welcome. I'm Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. I'm forever humbled in the presence of Spirit. And please hit that bell icon if you have not already. And welcome to the new subscribers all around the world. And a special note to the South African viewers, your market share has increased dramatically. Thank you and blessings to you. Trigger warning, the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. Alright, this is going to be a tough one to get through, but in the interest of Maddie, we are going to look at this case again. Before we get started, I'd just like to thank Cal, the girl Velvet, as well as Psychic Stacy. Thank you for contributing to today's show and your participant on the post that I had made earlier. So thank you very much. Blessings and gratitude to you. This case is still pinging on me, and I read recently that the mom had some kind of immunity deal. Is that the case? Let me know in the comments, please. Which I find very disturbing if she has pled some kind of deal. Because in my opinion, she was in the bed as well. And I received an image of the three of them in bed. So let's just go and have a look here. Now, in this episode, we've got Maddie's date of birth. We got the mom and the vile stepfather and vile mother. So let's have a look here. We know there was a party on Sunday for her, because she had just turned 13 on February the 22nd. Okay. Now, leading up to the Monday and the Sunday, we're already seeing anomalous of eights. For example, on the Saturday, we can see here that we have all these eights here. So there's already problems on the Saturday. Now, interestingly, I've been asked, why is there a problem? So we got the 26-8 in the middle of the day, which brings around the problem. Okay? The 26-8 pings on the stepfather. So what is going on here leading up to the situation? I've been cautioned. So, for the interest of what transpired, let's just have a look here. So, we have an upheaval of eights, pings directly on the stepfather. And we've got a 34-7, 16-7, 7. Now, if we take it on a family perspective, okay, we've got a hint here of serial behavior, 16-7. I'm trying real hard. We got 16-7 here. Serial behavior. When we get to the Sunday, now interestingly, so we got the 8s on the Saturday, ping directly on the father, because he's got the stepfather, because he's got the life path 8. When we get into Sunday, we already have a conflict here. There's a conflict in the family. 27-9. I must just say, now that we have a bit more facts, the Sunday situation seems peculiar to me, I must be honest. So we got the 35-8, 17-8, which pings on the stepfather. Directly involved. So let's just add in the plus 3s. So we got plus 3. Plus 6. So now we're going to go deeper into what transpired on Sunday evening, okay? Now, on the surface, as we see in our review shows of other channels, and I'll get back into that soon, Obviously, my 4-day delay didn't help. But for me, on the surface level, in the shop window on Sunday, it doesn't look good for me. This is a very aggressive outcome here, by the way. With all these 8s, this is an aggressive outcome here. Things got violent and hostile. Okay? Now, when we go into the +3, the day, you'll see here, 25/7, there's a conflict, right? There's an issue between parents. There's a 28-10-1, so there's an argument that's gone down this morning before she's even said happy birthday. Okay? Here's the party. 33 is the party. However, with all these negative numbers around, like 28-10-1 and the 25-7, 33 pings on the mother, but also pings on arguments. There's an outburst here. And the reason why I say that is because there's a 38-11-2 here. So now this tells me there is more than one person involved. And let's just be clear, more than 2 people involved. Because now you've got a collective. So 3 is the collective. 8 is whatever situation has gone down here. And we have an 11-2, an unlawful act has occurred. And in my opinion, the mother is fully aware of what transpired on this day. Now, when we go deeper and we're dealing with the human aspect, now this is supposed to be on her party day, right? So we can say there's some celebrations, fun going on, but there's this nasty 33-6. And there are other hints of sexual undertones. Okay? For example, 41-5, you don't want anywhere near a child. That is unconscionable acts against a minor, 41-5. And then 14-5, older men, younger children. Now, let me also just say, the 14-5 can also be older women and younger children. Okay, do we need to remind ourselves of the recent cases with all the female teachers? So in the +9, the wind interior, there's the union. Now it's all looking nice. And here's where the trouble starts. And we find a 44-8. There is master manipulation going on here, unfortunately. And pings, now just let's be clear here. There's 2 4s. In other words, 2 adults. 2 adults. Now, when we get into the Monday, we already see the 26-8, so we know it was staged because I'm not even going to get into their stories. We know now they both lied, and here's the staging number, 26-8. And again, we see this anomalous of 8, so there's chaos here, right? So now revealed the following morning, 28-10-1. Now tell me something. This is an argument here, huh? As mentioned here. Now, we cannot say that the stepfather was having an argument with Maddie, because we already know by this stage, and here's it reflected here, 31-4, she's already deceased. So who is he having an argument with? Now let's go deeper on this Monday. We wake up in the morning and there's a law being broken. I think I mentioned this in the or in a recent case. So what is happening here? In the morning when they wake up, there's a murder. two people are dealing with it. How can Maddie be dealing with it? A law has been broken. And interestingly, who's in the center of it? 31-4 is a death. But who does it ping on? Look here, the mom. The mom is fully aware. I will tell you now, by lunchtime Monday, and even before that, the mom knows exactly what has gone down here. 31-4, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why I asked, when I saw the text about her getting, did she get immunity on this deal? 39-12-3 is keeping the truth hidden in this case. Suppressing information. Now this is another problem for me. Here's another anomaly. 39-12-3. Okay. And 37-10-1. So why? Here's a hint of it here already. So let's go back a few steps. Because we can agree by Monday morning, or even when the sun rose, when they got in the car just before 7 or 8 or whatever it was to go to McDonald's, bullshit story, she had passed. So here we see two people. After the party, and I believe something went down during, there was like an after party for the adults and the child, in my opinion, because I do see all three of them in bed together. And that is one horrible sight I'll have to live with for the rest of my life. Right. So after sunset, things get out of hand. We start seeing a 3-8-1-1-2. So now it's not only the two adults, there must be a third adult. 44-8. And when you have 14-5, brings around those pedo parties, right? So what am I saying? On the morning, the two adults have a conflict. The two adults wake up with a conflict. But now why is there a third adult? There's a third adult, ladies and gentlemen. Who is the third adult? There is a third adult. Now, interestingly, when I looked at the date of birth of Maddie and the date of birth of mom and the date of birth of stepfather, we've got a serious problem here. Maddie has a 4 in the year that she's born, and this is going to be sensitive now. Not to get too personal or graphic, I won't do that. Here, I believe, is the issue in their date of birth that I've discovered. Now, unfortunately, when children have a 4 in their date of birth, and she has a prominent 4 in the year that she's born, as well as the day that she's born. Okay? Now, when we go over to mom, born March 2, 1988, she has a 4 life path. Okay. When we look at the stepfather, he has a 4 in April. Now, herein lies the problem. When you have adults with 4s and a child with 4, unfortunately brings around abuse. And I mentioned this in she's pinging on me, and I'm going to go there now quickly. Do you recall the case with Madeline Soto? in that case, the stepfather had the 4s and she had the 4s. And that's why abuse takes place. So this is interesting now because, hear me out, the mom has a life path 4. And the stepfather, and she allowed it to happen. I'm getting message from Spirit. Mom allowed it to happen. Life path. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. So the mom has a life path 4, which is a significant position for the 4. Okay. The stepfather, however, has a 4 in the April, is not as significant as the mom. Now, when a child has a 4 and the parents particularly have a 4, and we know this was an abusive environment, in my opinion, the head abuser came from the mother. And while prepping, and I'm going to say it, while prepping these charts, the mother wanted, or the mother's excuse was she was to learn how to satisfy a man. So what do we have here? We've got a cycle of abuse happening here. With anyone with a 4, and I say this lightly, when children have 4s, there's a high probability of abuse. Unfortunately, 4 is like a magnet that attracts abuse. So if there's a stepfather involved and your child's got a 4, and there's a step or a step mom, and if they got 4s, let's be careful, please. So in my opinion, the mother was fully aware of the abuse and would ignite the abuse because she has a life path 4, which could mean that even in her past, as a child herself, there was abuse. And of course, the stepfather has abuse, right? 4. Another issue for me in combination with these numbers, and if you've got the same combination, it doesn't mean we know what the outcome is here. So I'm looking at these from a negative aspect. She has a 5 in the middle of the day. And when you're dealing with sex and issues around intimacy with people that have a 5, they are easier to persuade, 5s are easier to persuade to have, let's say, extraordinary type of sex or illegal sex or anything that would be deemed away from the norm, let's say. So in other words, the mom has deviant numbers in her chart already. Okay? And both of these have 8s. Now, let's just have a look here. So unfortunately, the mother has an 8 in the year. Let's just make it yellow for now. Has an 8 in the year. And the stepfather is a life path 8, which means these two bastards, the mom and the father, are karmically connected. Because she has an 8 in the year that she's born and he has an 8 life path, they are in a karmic relationship. And unfortunately, the stepfather has a 24/6 as well, which pings on Maddie's 24/6. And the irony about 24/6 is 24/6 is actually a family number. So unfortunately, in my opinion, the choices of the mother which are despicable, brought in a karmic issue into the family, and therefore impacted her daughter. And I must just say, and I'm just going to speak freely on this one, these motherfuckers, the 5 year. Let me tell you, if she's got a 5 year, right, she can be standing in the kitchen having a cigarette and making tea, knowingly that her stepfather is raping her daughter. That's the type of makeup of numbers this person has here. So her plea of innocence and didn't know anything, she was the fucking instigator. She was the instigator. She was the handler, if you like. So unfortunately, we have a cycle of abuse that the mom brought into the house. And the third thing is, because they were so free with their bullshit, there's another adult involved here, ladies and gentlemen. There's a third adult involved here. So why are they hiding this other information? See, when we go to the +6 of the Monday, which is this one here, beg your pardon, we see a 5 year, which pings on the mother, impacting the union. Now we see a destruction of family, 42-6. There's a murder of innocence. While they were in bed together, all of them. Sorry to say. If it is the case that the mom got immunity, then we've got to question the moral value of the policing force of this whole situation. There was enough evidence on his phone, right? So why does she get an immunity deal? She's as guilty as the stepfather. And there's also another karmic connection with the daughter and the mother, of course, right? Just shocking. And as an adult, she can make choices, the mother. Oh, I don't feel like it tonight, honey. Go check on the daughter. Or let's all jump into bed together. Bloody disgusting. So if there's any new information out of my part of the reading, the parents were abusers, both, and the mom was the primary abuser, the mom. And unfortunately, Maddie and the two adults were in a cycle of abuse, which originated ironically from the mother. So if the mother wants to plead innocent, she's as guilty as sin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts are. I know it's quite a heavy case, and the mother is definitely guilty. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, stay alert. Bye for now.